I just want to expand on what the awakening process is really like, or what you can expect to feel, to experience. Well, my understanding of it is that you're basically trying to let go of false ideas of who you are, of your identity. And so there's a lot of talk around ego, releasing your ego. But to me, I see it as more like going with the flow and trying to hear and identify with your higher self. And when I say that, I don't mean it in this aspirational kind of highfalutin thinking of the best part of you, if you like. I more think of it as your soul. It's who you are in your true being, in your true essence. So it's more about being and being yourself than it is about trying to change your thought patterns as such. So the term release is used a lot, or surrender. See, I see surrender as something that's more of something you do, whereas release is more about something, maybe that's something you do as well, but to me it's more about something that you're not doing. Releasing is that you're not holding on to anything, you're not making conscious effort to be something, to identify with anything. So it has to be simple. It has to be about knowing your inner self and getting to know your inner self better and relating to inner self more, because that's a state of being. That doesn't require conscious thought, but in order to get there are things that come up, and these are parts of yourself that you identify with so closely, you believe they really are you, and they have to be so deeply entrenched and so seemingly true that in order to protect you. So, on a very simple level, they may be, I can't trust anyone. And they're not something you need to get over on a logical level either. There's something, they're belief patterns, and they have an energy to them. In that case, distrust, it pushes people away, and they then become self-proving as well. So it's about really learning through not through your brain so much as through your senses, your being, experiencing yourself, the deeper self. And that will bring up, for sure, things that you have suppressed or hidden, or may have completely forgotten about. And you do need to feel those, and you need to pass through them. They need to pass through you, so that they no longer have the grip on you. So here's an example for me. I remembered as a kid being locked in a room when I was really naughty, and I had forgotten it, completely forgotten it. And I couldn't understand why I had such an aversion to being trapped, like an illogical, not just a dislike, but an uncontrollable urge to escape. And now I remember the feeling of being behind the locked door. And please don't think my parents weren't wonderful. They were such good parents. I was so blessed. But it was a different era. It was the 70s, and a screaming child can be pretty hard to manage at times. So that's something I experienced. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's something that I have a trapped memory that maybe even comes from a past life. But it's something that came back to me when I was more removed about the experience and self-examining about the deep emotions I was feeling in a certain situation. And that's how I I find it. I find that by you're trying to step out and you're trying to be more objective about yourself and hear the inner voice and the narrative. So if something happens that you don't like, and let's face it, that's pretty regular, especially in a busy, crowded life we live in. When something comes up and you don't like it, rather than just doing the knee-jerk reaction of shoving it away, because you've got enough things to deal with, if you can be more objective, I literally sort of see myself try to step back mentally, almost external to my body, looking inside of myself, and I say, what's actually coming up? Because there's something more than just leave me alone. And it might be something like, leave me alone, you've always done this to me. And then I think, well, who's always done this? And I hear a bit more deeply and I remember something and I think, wow, that's what I'm really living. While this invasive, intrusive experience is happening, I'm reliving something that happened to me 50 years ago maybe. So it's about no longer holding down things that you experience, powerful emotions, seeing them and then just recognizing them, but not identifying with them. And you'll find more and more you cease to identify with them. They cease to run your life. And then you find some more. It just keeps going. It's a long journey, but a worthy one. And I hope this has helped.